If it's the night before a pay-per-view, it is our pay-per-view preview edition of the Wrestling Forum. Hello, friends. Ridiculously Over Anthony Floyer here with you. As tonight, the Phenom, Michael Bullock, and I are going to preview the WWE Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2015 pay-per-view / network special, which will be live in a good 19 hours or so from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. The final event of 2015. I mean, it's hard to believe we're already at this point, but time goes by nowadays, my friends. I mean, it goes by so fast nowadays. That's what I was trying to say. So, yeah, looking at a solid card here from what it looks like, and it should be an interesting event. We got some interesting matches to get into, and we'll break it all down right here and now. So, as it stands, we have 7 matches on the card. No word on a pre-show match, but nonetheless, we're gonna have it all ready and set to go. So, without any further ado, I'm just now. I remember our friend Derek Ferreira. He posted a. I think it was really more of a video more than anything else, and he didn't post a preview blog. So I'm just gonna have to go by my own merits here and go in a certain order here. So here we go. Just give me a moment while I let my notes get up there. All right. Well, we already know what the main event's going to be, so we're just going to leave it at that. So, let's start it off. I think I'm just going to go from in reverse order here on the Wikipedia here. So, let's start it off with a matchup here. We have Ryback going one-on-one with Rusev. Of course, Rusev back with Lana. Lana's back with him now. So, yeah. We've seen this match a couple times on Monday Night Raw over the last couple of weeks. The first time around, it was an absolute dud. I mean, it was one of those if you blink, you missed it moments. But the match they had this past Monday on Raw, I thought was a much better match. We thought it was a much better match, and even though it had a double count-out finish, I mean, you kind of thought it was gonna be another clunky finish. But I don't think we're gonna get a clunky finish this time around. I think we're gonna get a more decisive victor here. And I'm going to go with Rusev to win this fight because I think Lana is going to end up being the ultimate difference maker if you really think about it. So, so with that said, I'm going to go with Ryback, or today, not Ryback. I'm going to go with Rusev to defeat Ryback at TLC. So, so with that said, Phenom, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on Ryback against Rusev?
Yes. Hello, friends. This is the Phenom, Mike Bullock here for our Tables, Ladders, and Chairs preview edition of the Wrestling Forum. Yeah, I mean, I think this should be an all right match, but I don't think it's going to be anything special. I'll definitely say that, but I do agree. I'm going to go with Rusev in this one. I mean, of course, I think Lana's definitely going to be the difference maker in this match. I mean, especially now that she's back with Rusev, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I do want Ryback to win, but to me, I think Rusev needs this. He needs this win more than Ryback does. So I'm gonna take a chance, and I'm going with the Rusev to win. So with that being said, Florio, let's move on to the next match we will talk about, and that I'll lead off on.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, I'm just going to go in the reverse order here, according to the Wikipedia from bottom to top, because it has because the main event would be last. So it doesn't really matter what order we go in. So we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna wing it here. Next up, we're gonna get into one of the stipulation matches here on TLC. We're going to have a chairs match for the United States Heavyweight Championship. The champion Alberto Del Rio defending against Jack Swagger. This is a chairs match, which means chairs can be used. Chairs are legal in this match. So with that said, Michael Bullock, this is a match we've been, talking about for a while now. So Del Rio and Swagger, U.S. heavyweight title match, chairs match. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, yeah. Of course, this whole thing started, of course, with Zeb Coulter. Of course, remember, Zeb Coulter returned at Hell in a Cell, and he introduced Alberto Del Rio as the man that was going to face John Cena in the U.S. Open Challenge, and then, of course, we all know what happened. Alberto Del Rio became the United States champion, and they started this whole thing with this Mex America thing, and Jack Swagger basically was like, Zeb, what's going on with you? I mean, you were with me, and now you're with this guy, and they've had some back and forth, and of course, it all culminated with what happened this past Monday night on Raw when they both used chairs, and then of course there was a backstage segment where Alberto Del Rio dumped Zeb Coulter. So to me, I think Zeb Coulter is going to be a factor in this match. And as far as who I think is going to win, I'm going to go with Alberto Del Rio to win and retain the the United States Heavyweight Championship, because I get this feeling that this whole thing is a ploy. I mean, I think Zeb Coulter is going to go back to Alberto Del Rio, and he's going to help cost Jack Swagger the win. I mean, I think it'll be good, but I think we'll get a little bit of a clunky finish with Zeb Coulter interfering and going back to Alberto Del Rio. I mean, that's the feeling I get from this. I mean, I've seen this happen so many times in the WWE. So basically, give me Alberto Del Rio to win and retain his United States Heavyweight Championship. So, Florio, I give it to you.
Yeah, I got Del Rio going over as well. I mean, we all know WWE has no faith in Jack Swagger whatsoever, and Alberto Del Rio, much ballyhooed return. Obviously, he's making Brock Lesnar type money now, folks. I mean, which is a very big deal. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there, he's making almost what Brock Lesnar is making, millions and millions of dollars, and he let's just say he got signed to a very lucrative deal. That's all I can say about that. And it's very clear that they're very high on Del Rio, obviously. And I just read a dirt sheet a little bit ago. Funny you mentioned that, Bullock. I just read a dirt sheet a little bit ago about the future. They gave a little update on what's going on with Alberto Del Rio and Zeb Coulter. And the plan was for Del Rio and Coulter to be split up. And they tease a possibility that what happened this past Monday night on Raw, the angle, could be a swerve, and we could see maybe Coulter shows up with Swagger, but then ultimately costs him the match, and him and Del Rio ended up swerving Swagger there, which is a very realistic possibility. But it should be a fine match for what it was. I mean, usually the chairs matches aren't really exciting. I mean, the only chairs match since this event started in 2009. The only chairs match, realistically, that had any realistic excitement or drama whatsoever, ironically, it involved your man, Bullock, The Undertaker, when he went up against
The Undertaker and Batista at the very first TLC pay-per-view
for the World Heavyweight Championship, and there was definitely some drama in that one. No question about it. And
but all the other chairs matches has been meh.
The only other one I could think of was didn't John Cena and Wade Barrett have one of those matches in 2010? I think, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And I think that
ended up with, of course, Cena basically when he pulled the chairs off that set that was made with the chairs that were like basically stringed together, and it fell on Wade Barrett at the time.
Yeah. So those were the only two chair matches that really stood out when it comes to the chair matches at this event. This one should probably be, a solid fight for what it is. We're probably looking at a 2.5, maybe 3-star at best, but we'll have to wait and see how it all goes down. But for right now, I too have Alberto Del Rio successfully defending the United States Heavyweight Championship against Jack Swagger. Should be an interesting matchup. All right. Next up here, another gimmick match, and this is an interesting one. We're going to have ourselves an 8-man tag team elimination tables match. The ECW Originals, the Dudley Boys, Tommy Dreamer, and Rhino going up against the Wyatt family. Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, Eric Rowan. This is going to be all kinds of fun. I mean, for all you old school ECW diehards out there, particularly our Cerebral Viper, Michael Fletcher, and our Hardcore Pipe Bomb, Derek Ferreira, I mean, this is right up their alley because we all know how much they love those ECW matches. And this could be something that all of the old school ECW when the Originals and the Wyatts get together for this 8-man elimination tables matchup. Who knows? Could we really go old school ECW and see a flaming table, perhaps? Oh boy, would that be something? But I don't know if we're going to see that. I mean, it would be a mark-out moment, but I can honestly say this will be. I could see this being one of the fights of the night. We could be looking at a good 3 to 3.5 stars at the absolute best. And as great as it is to see all these old school ECW guys, you know, those damn Dudleys and the Innovator of Violence and the Man Beast from Detroit, Michigan, as great as it is to see those guys back, you know who's going over in this one. This is an easy one to call. I got the Wyatt family going over. And I think the difference maker is going to be Braun Strowman. Because you guys know, I mean, Bullock, you know more than anybody how very high I am on Braun Strowman's work. And I think he's going to be the ultimate difference maker as far as this match is concerned. So I'm going to go with the Wyatts. I like the Wyatts to go over here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Originals were to somehow pull this one out, but we got to be realistic here. The Wyatts are going over. It's as simple as that. But it's definitely going to be one of the fights of the night. We're looking at 3 to 3.5 if all goes well. So when it comes to tables matches in the history of tables matches at TLC, of course, the one that stands out the most obviously has to be, again, the inaugural event when Sheamus won his very first WWE championship, when he put John Cena through a table. One of the most shocking moments in WWE history. Everybody and their mother thought Cena was going over. I know I did. And then all of a sudden, they shocked the heck out of us and they put Sheamus over. So we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully this tables match will live up to the billing. So I got a good feeling about it, considering the names involved and the body of work that these guys are capable of. So Wyatt family wins. So Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this 8-man elimination tables match with the ECW Originals and the Wyatts?
Yeah, I think this should be a fine 8-man elimination tables match. I mean, you got the ECW Originals, of course, with the Dudleys, the Innovator of Violence, Tommy Dreamer, and the Man Beast Rhino against the Wyatts. But I mean, I agree with you. I mean, as much as I like the ECW Originals, I have to go with the Wyatts. I mean, to me, they need this win more than the ECW Originals do, because they haven't had a quality win. And I do agree, the difference maker in this match, I think, is going to be Braun Strowman, because of just how much of a freak this guy is. And we've seen what he can do. And I mean, how on earth are the Dudleys or Rhino or Tommy Dreamer going to try to put him through a table? I just don't see that happening. So that being said, Wyatt family wins. Florio, let's move on to our next match.
Yeah, I believe you'll be starting off on this one. And I know this is one you're going to have a major vested interest in. Return match one more time. The WWE Divas Championship on the line. The champion, Charlotte, who will be accompanied by her legendary Hall of Fame father, my man, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And we'll be going up against, of course, Paige. Of course, this is the third time in the last few weeks that we're going to see these two go at it. Of course, it started at Survivor Series with Charlotte going over. A little somewhat controversial finish, and then they had a rematch the next night on Raw. which ended in a draw. So hence the reason why this return match here. So Michael Bullock, I mean, we've had a lot to say about this match over the last few weeks, or this feud rather, over the last few weeks, and you've been very vocal about this. So I know you. I mean, I know you're interested in all the fights, but I know this is one in particular that you're going to have a very major league vested interest in. So Charlotte against Paige, Divas title. Your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean this whole thing has gotten so personal. I mean, of course, it all started, of course, leading up to their matchup at Survivor Series, where Paige made some controversial remarks about the late Reed Flair, and that got a lot of people upset about it, including myself. I mean, I said it before. I mean, I'm fine with other ways they could have done this, but to bring the late Reed Flair into this, I think was a little bit pointless and unnecessary, in my opinion. I mean, as I always like to say, leave the family stuff out of this whole thing. And of course, Charlotte got the win at Survivor Series, and then we had a rematch the next night, and of course that ended in a no contest after Paige beat the crap out of Charlotte. So you knew eventually we were going to get another match between these two. So yeah, and then of course things got even more out of control this past Monday night on Raw, where Charlotte and Ric Flair were a guest on the Miz TV, and then all of a sudden Paige comes out and she slaps Ric Flair, and then Charlotte basically snaps, and they basically went at it again. So now the Nature Boy Ric Flair, I mean, he's going to be in the corner of his daughter. So I think this could be a solid match. But I got Charlotte. I got Charlotte winning this match and retaining the Divas title. Why? Because I think her dad is going to be the difference maker in this match. So yeah. So basically, give me Charlotte to retain the Divas Championship. So Florio, I give it to you.
Yeah, I got Charlotte going over too. I mean, it should be I got a good feeling about this Diva fight. I mean, you know, like Bullock said, I mean, I definitely agree about the personal stuff. I mean, that's something that should really be checked at the door, you know, honestly. But you know, of course,
because I remember you saying one time you said you were fine with it.
I was, yeah, I was at first, but then, but then when I really thought about it, I mean, I think they did go a little too far, you know, thinking about it, but they removed it. You know, when they did the video package, you know, leading up to the Survivor Series match, they edited out that Reed Flair stuff. So maybe I think they realized they went too far. So that's obviously why they removed any mention of that from that angle.
Yeah, because whoever the Dinkelberg was that came up with the idea should be ashamed of themselves.
Definitely, I agree with you on that. But
whether it was Vince McMahon and who was it, Kevin Dunn?
Yeah, it's probably one of those two. I mean,
or Paige being so egotistical, saying, "No, let's go through with this because I said so."
Well, we don't know.
It's like you said, we don't know. There's so many things. I mean, it could have been Vince McMahon or Kevin Dunn, or it could have been Paige. I mean, so many questions. Well, I mean, the only people that do know, Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, and Paige, and neither one of those three are talking.
Of course not, but nonetheless, getting into the match now, I think this can be, you know, because there were the two matches that have both been very good, and I got a good feeling this one could be just as good. We don't know what's going on with Charlotte. I mean, are we on the verge of a possible heel turn for Charlotte? I mean, because of the stuff that's been going on with her and Becky Lynch. Now, keep in mind, Becky Lynch went over Paige on the last SmackDown, so let's keep that in mind. And could Becky Lynch end up getting involved in this match? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we get a run in from the last kicker. We'll have to wait and see on that. I got a feeling that Flair's going to get involved. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I don't know about this. I don't think this fight's going to end clean. I think we're going to get some shenanigans in this fight. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I hope we don't get any shenanigans because these two divas can go. We know they both can go, and I'm hoping that we end up getting, one of the better diva fights of this year so far. I mean, we know it's not going to be a 5-star classic like Sasha Banks and Bayley was back in August when we had the NXT Brooklyn. I mean, unreal there, but we're not going to get anything along those lines. I can see this being, right around the 2.5 to 3 range, if I'm being honest with you. It should get a solid amount of time. But I do see shenanigans arising here. I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if Becky Lynch ends up getting involved. I certainly wouldn't be surprised if Ric Flair gets involved. But nonetheless, though, I got Charlotte. I got Charlotte retaining the Divas Championship. And what happens next, I don't know. Derek Ferrer did a sports blog about maybe a possible match with Charlotte and Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble next month in Orlando. So we'll have to wait and see on that. I mean, that's the dream diva fight we want to see. We want to see Becky and Charlotte go at it for the Divas Championship. And for that to happen, Charlotte has to go over. And then something's going to have to go down within these next several weeks before we get to, of course, the Royal Rumble, which will be sometime next month in Orlando, Florida. So really looking forward to seeing where this goes. But I got Charlotte winning. I got a feeling we're going to get some type of shenanigans here. Hope I'm wrong, but, it is what it is. So Charlotte wins and retains the Divas Championship. Next up here on the TLC preview edition, we got 3 matches left. And we have yet another gimmick match right here, another one of the special matches of this event. Triple threat ladder match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Champions, the New Day, defending against the Usos, the challengers and former champions, the Usos, and of course the Lucha Dragons. Yeah, this is going to be so fun. I mean, I can honestly say this is going to be another one of the fights of the night. I think we're looking at a good 3.5 to 4 based on the body of work of these guys. I mean, when it comes to the gimmick matches of this event, there's 4 of them. There's 4 special matches: the chairs match, the ladder match, the tables match, and of course the tables, ladders, and chairs match itself. But the chair matches are usually so-so. I can honestly say same thing for the tables fight. But when it comes to the gimmick matches, this is one of the 2, along with TLC, of course. These are the 2 that are the most fun. And I got a good feeling that when you base it on the body of work of these 3 teams and the men involved, especially Kofi Kingston, we know his body of work, his aerial assault. The Usos, we know what they're capable of. And of course, the Luchas. I mean, you can't forget about the Luchas. I mean, I'm sure Big E's going to probably be teaming with Kofi here. We're probably going to get Xavier Woods on the outside with that damn trombone. But we'll have to wait and see. But I'll tell you what, though. I got a damn good feeling about this 3-way match. I mean, when you have the body of work of Kofi Kingston, both Usos and both Luchas, when you combine all that body of work, you got a recipe for a classic here. I think we're going to get a classic match. I think we're going to get some Shakespearean drama at an all-time high. I got a damn good feeling about it. It's going to be one of the fights of the night for sure. Like I said, I think in 3.5 to 4 stars. That's my projection going into it. Lucha Dragons, lately I've been going over the New Day. We saw them go over New Day twice. We saw them go over New Day on Raw Monday and then SmackDown Thursday. And the Usos, they missed a good majority of the year. Mainly Jey Uso when he had the injury to his knee. Of course, Jimmy Uso worked commentary on SmackDown during the summer months with Tom Phillips and Jerry the King Lawler, and then eventually Rich Brennan when Rich Brennan came in and replaced Tom Phillips as the new lead man on SmackDown, which started right here in Providence, by the way, when I went to that. But nonetheless, it's going to be a great matchup here. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I would love to see the Luchas go over. I mean, because the Lucha Dragons are former NXT Tag Team Champions. They ended the longest reign of all time, that by the Ascension at one of the events there. I mean, you know, which goes down as one of the biggest upsets in NXT history. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Usos were to get another run with the belts, but there's just something telling me right now that the New Day is going to find a way to go over and successfully defend the WWE Tag Team Championships. So booking 101 is going to rear its ugly head because, you know, the Luchas have gone over, like I said, both shows this week. And I don't know about the Usos. We'll have to wait and see on that. But the New Day, even though they've been a very annoying, campy comedy, bull funky nonsense act, and an act that I've started to lose love for and lose a little bit of respect for. You remember when we did our SummerSlam recap, I was doing the New Day Rocks and all that, and I was happy about that. But over these last few weeks, especially, I mean, they have been as irritating and annoying as you can possibly get. Over the top antics, the trombone, don't even get me started on the damn trombone. But at the end of the day, though, they're going to find a way. New Day is going to go over and successfully defend the Tag Team Championship. Would I be surprised if we get a title switch here? No, I wouldn't. But at the end, though, I got the New Day going over. But nonetheless, it's going to be a wonderful match. I cannot wait. This is going to be one of the best fights of the night for sure. No doubt about it. 3.5 to 4 stars. So, Bullet, triple threat ladder match, New Day, Usos, Luchas. Do you agree with me, or do you think we're going to have or do you think we're going to get new champions here?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean the Lucha Dragons. I mean, they've been going over the New Day in the 2 times they've been in the ring, and of course, yeah, this is definitely going to be a really good match here. That's going to be full of Shakespearean drama. I mean, a ladder match. I mean, what can you say? I mean, probably going to see the ladder really getting used a lot as a weapon, but as much as I want to see the Usos get another run with the title, or the Lucha Dragons become the new champs, I got to go with the New Day to win and retain the WWE Tag Team Championship. So, yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say except let's move on to our next match.
And you're going to start it off. And what a match you're going to get. What a match you're going to be leading off on here. Oh. Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship on the line. The champion, Kevin Owens, defending against the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. Nothing left to say. Bullet, Ambrose and Owens. Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Of course, these two met in the semifinals of the World Heavyweight Championship tournament back at Survivor Series. So I ask you, do you think this match is going to be better? Number one. And number two, do you have Owens successfully defending, or do you think we're going to see the Lunatic Fringe become the new champion?
What can you say? I think this is definitely going to be one of the top fights of the night. I mean, you take a look at the body of work of both of these men. I mean, it's just spot on. And I mean, you have 2 guys who are loved by the IWC. I mean, to me, I mean, I think Kevin Owens is more loved than Dean Ambrose, in my honest opinion. But yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a solid match. It's going to be a real good match. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this turns out to be the fight of the night, just based on the body of work of both of these men. So, man, who do I think's going to win? I'm going to have to go with Kevin Owens to win and retain the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship because, I mean, to me, I think it's too soon to take the title off of him. I mean, as I said before, I think he can bring prestige back to the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Would I be surprised if Dean Ambrose gets the win here? No, I wouldn't be surprised. But either way, I got Kevin Owens winning this match. Florio, it is yours.
Yeah. Normally I agree with you on everything, Bullet, but I don't know. I mean, because remember, Dean Ambrose did go over Kevin Owens in the semifinals of the World Heavyweight Championship tournament at Survivor Series. And then, of course, that contract signing, which I hate to say it was a bit of a letdown, if I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, you and I had high hopes going into that contract signing when it was first announced, because, you know, over these last few months, whenever Bullock and I heard the words contract signing, you know, we were downright giddy about contract signings because we knew we were going to get something fun with contract signings. JBL always says on commentary, this won't end well. Oh, yeah. But nonetheless, it's going to be, I think this match will be better than the Survivor Series match. I mean, it got too short amount of time. I mean, it only got like 10 minutes or so. But I think that this one should be a little longer. I think we're going to get the good 15 to 20 minutes here. I think we're looking at hopefully we're looking at 3.5 to 4 based on the body of work, because these two guys, we know they can go, and it's going to be one heck of a matchup. And yes, two guys very popular in the IWC. I mean, when I went to the SmackDown taping at the end of August in Providence, a lot of the people that I came across, a lot of them were wearing Kevin Owens shirts. Yeah, the Kevin Owens shirts, I think, were the hot seller. But Dean Ambrose, far and away, got the biggest pop of the night. No doubt about that. So, yeah, two guys who are very high in the IWC. Owens has held the belt since, of course, September when he beat Ryback at Night of Champions in Houston. Even though I didn't like the way he won it, because he won it with a roll-up. I mean, I would have loved to have seen him win it with a power bomb. But would I be surprised if Owens successfully defends? No, I wouldn't, because, you know, they obviously want to give him a good run with that thing. But I think there's a possibility we could get a new champion here. I mean, there's a very realistic chance we could see the Lunatic Fringe go over again, and this time win the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. So I'm going to take a chance here. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, whatever. I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to say Dean Ambrose wins the match and becomes the new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. I think there's a good chance it could happen. So, but don't get me wrong. It's going to be one heck of a match. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be another one of the fights of the night for sure. I expect a good 3.5 to 4. I expect a great match throughout. I expect some great Shakespearean drama. So that's all there is to it. So give me Dean Ambrose to win the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. And now the main event of the evening. Tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my. The tables, ladders, and chairs match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, going up against the challenger and technically former champion, of course, Roman Reigns. Of course, we all know what happened. It was 3 weeks ago at Survivor Series in Atlanta, where we thought Roman Reigns finally realized his dream and became the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship after winning the tournament, defeating his best buddy Dean Ambrose in the finals. And then, of course, 5 minutes and 15 seconds later, he's looking up at the lights, thanks to two Brogue Kicks from Sheamus and a Money in the Bank cash in, and then Sheamus walked out with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, a la SummerSlam 2013. The only difference is Triple H didn't have to do a pedigree on Roman Reigns like he did on Daniel Bryan to set up Randy Orton, and that's how the whole authority nonsense got started. But oh boy, what has gone down in the last few weeks. I mean, very exciting stuff, to say the very least. These two guys aren't going alone. No, they got backup, significant backup. Of course, Roman Reigns has his best buddy, Dean Ambrose, and of course, his cousins, Jimmy and Jey Uso, the Usos. Whereas Sheamus has put together a band of brothers of his own, the newly formed League of Nations, which of course consists of the United States Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio, King Barrett, and of course Rusev. So yeah, I mean, you heard it first. All those guys are gonna get involved in this fight. This is not gonna end clean. There's no way this is gonna end clean. You know there's gonna be shenanigans aplenty in this fight. Don't get me wrong. I think this is going to be the fight of the night. I really do. Because we all know these TLC matches always deliver some damn good matches. I mean, look at look at the Shield when the Shield went up against Daniel Bryan, Kane, and Ryback in 2012. I mean, they damn near tore the house down in Brooklyn. I mean, that was a damn near 5-star classic. That thing was unbelievable. And then, of course, this match also produced the WWE World Heavyweight Championship when Randy Orton and John Cena unified the titles 2 years ago. And then how about last year when Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt threw down in that? So great history with the tables, ladders, and chairs match. There's going to be very high Shakespearean drama here. I think we're looking at a 4 to 4.25 star rating fight for this fight. I think it's going to be the fight of the night because I expect a lot of action in this one. It's going to be a big time be a man fight, and I cannot wait to see these two throw down for the World Heavyweight Championship. It should be one hell of a match. I can't wait to see how it goes down. But there's only one realistic and logical outcome when it comes to this. Sheamus goes over, and Sheamus successfully defends the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Who knows how long he's going to hold it? I wouldn't be surprised if he holds it until WrestleMania. That's just my guess. But you never know. It could go down. He could lose it sooner. You never know. The whole Seth Rollins injury totally really shook up the landscape of WWE, if you know what I mean. So that's pretty much all I can say on that. So winner and still WWE World Heavyweight Champion, a la shenanigans from the League of Nations and what have you. It's going to be the Celtic Warrior Sheamus successfully defending the title. Way too soon to take it off. I mean, you only put it on him 3 weeks ago, and you want to keep building Roman as a sympathetic figure because we all know those in the IWC are pissing all over Roman Reigns because of the fact that he is that quote unquote chosen one from a corporate perspective. So that's pretty much the only reason why they even went that whole route. The whole Rollins injury, like I said, really messed things up in so many ways, especially the long-term booking, especially for the show of shows, WrestleMania 32, April the 3rd in Jerry World. So that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Sheamus successfully defends, fight of the night, shenanigans aplenty. Ambrose gets involved, Usos get involved, League of Nations get involved. Michael Bullock, how do you follow that?
Yeah, I don't know how I can follow that, but yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna go with Sheamus here to retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I think this is gonna be a real good match. It's definitely gonna be the fight of the night here. But yeah, I do agree. I get this feeling that there's gonna be some shenanigans. You'll see the League of Nations get involved. You'll see the Usos and Dean Ambrose get involved here. Yeah, so definitely. I mean, this should be a good match, but shenanigans definitely are gonna rule this match here. So winner and still WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. So with that being said, Florio, let's move on.
All right, Michael Bullock. How do you what are your overall projections? What are your how do you see this whole TLC event going down tomorrow night in our neck of the woods of Boston?
I think this should be a good a really good pay-per-view here. You take a look at the matches that we have. I mean, of course, the TLC match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship with Roman Reigns and Sheamus, Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental Championship. You also have that triple threat ladder match for the tag team title, which I think should be a good one as well. I literally don't see anything that has the resemblance of a bad match. I don't see any. The only one that I think could be bad. And I'm hoping that it's not is Ryback and Rusev. That's the only match that really concerns me. But we'll wait and see what happens. As far as how I think if I were to rate it, I would have to say somewhere between 7 to 8 out of 10 would be my rating, based on the body of work and the matches that we have here. So yeah, so that's how I feel about it. So Florio, give us your thoughts on this TLC pay per view, and what do you think the rating could be?
What did you say for yours, Bullet?
I said somewhere between 7 to 8 out of 10, even though I think 7 would be the best choice.
Yeah, I agree with that. 7 to 8 out of 10. I definitely agree with that rating. I mean, you heard the card. I mean, the TLC match. I mean, that always delivers when it comes to the TLC pay per view. I mean, I can't remember a TLC match that was ever really bad. I mean, all of them have been really good. I mean, when you look back at the history of the tables, ladders, and chairs matches, that ladder match, that triple threat ladder match, that's going to be fun to watch too. I mean, the ladder matches have really delivered. I mean, how about Shelton Benjamin and Christian for the ECW title in 2009? That was really good. The Miz and Alberto Del Rio and CM Punk, that was a really good match. I mean, of course, that one in 2012 with the Shield against Brian, Kane, and Ryback. I mean, that may have been the greatest one ever because of that one bump that Seth Rollins took, which we're still going nuts over. Orton and Cena, you know, I mean, so many great matches in TLC history. I mean, those are just some of the few. Fight of the night definitely will be Roman Reigns and Sheamus TLC. The Intercontinental match with Owens and Ambrose, that should be really good. I'm really looking forward to that triple threat ladder match. The New Day, Usos, and the Luchas, that should be fun to watch. The Diva fight, I'm definitely looking forward to the Diva fight, seeing how that goes down with Charlotte and Paige. And really intrigued with where that one's going. If I had to say it, I think the worst fight of the night will most certainly be Ryback against Rusev. I don't have a good feeling about that one at all. The chairs match, that should be a solid fight at best. And then that tables match, that 8-man tables elimination match, that should be a lot of fun too. So based on how this match, how all these matches could go down in the potential bodies of work here, I think 7 to 8 out of 10 is the possible correct rating, progression-wise, progressively for as far as this is concerned. So that's pretty much it. So should be a great event in Boston, TD Garden tomorrow night. Really looking forward to seeing how this all goes down. On the WWE Network, $9.99 a month, or of course for all you Dinkelbergs out there who are still stuck in the past and want to just want to throw your $54.99 away on traditional pay-per-view, go right ahead, whatever you want to do. But
Dinkelbergs,
you know it. So that will put the bow on this edition, this pay-per-view preview edition of the Wrestling Forum. We want to thank you also very much for tuning in. Of course, tomorrow night, following the pay-per-view at 11 Eastern or so, join myself and Bullock along with Michael Fletcher. Hopefully, Fletcher will be back on this time around. He was unable to do the Survivor Series recap show. Hopefully, he'll be back on for our TLC recap of Wrestling Forum. Of course, we're really looking forward to that complete recap of this event, our thoughts on the event, what we liked about it, what we hated about it, our overall thoughts on it. And once we get through that, then we can officially start the road, the long and winding road, because it's always a very long and winding road to the Royal Rumble, which I'm very much looking forward to, because we love the Royal Rumble matches, believe me on that. So that's it. So and then Monday Night Wrestling Forum, obviously, sort out all the fallout from TLC and slowly but surely start the road to the Royal Rumble. That's it. So all right. So that's it for this. So thank you also very much for tuning in. So until tomorrow night, hopefully on Fletcher's Braves Fan 95 channel for our TLC recap. This is Ridiculously Over Anthony Florio for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, the Cerebral Viper Michael Fletcher, and the Hardcore Pipe on Derek Ferreira, saying, the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Enjoy your busy Sunday with all the NFL games and, of course, TLC after that. So NFL and TLC, no better way to spend the Sunday, my friends. That's all there is to it. So until our TLC recap tomorrow on where I'm hoping will be Fletcher's channel, Brace Fan 95, you've been watching this WWE Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2015 preview right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. And for now, Ridiculously Over Anthony Florio and the Phenom Michael Bullock. So long.